Hey guys, it's Mark with the Daily Hustle Show, and today we're going to be talking about our recently posted daily sales tip, which is understanding the difference between a persuasion and a conversation. Okay, now this has a very clear and concise line between the difference. However, as sales reps, it's very difficult to see that. Okay, some people will feel, well, aren't we technically persuading them to come to our side of the fence to buy this product or products? And other sales reps will say, well, no, we're just having a discussion. They're choosing what they want. And that's where the line is no longer blurred. And that's what we want to focus on today. The difference of persuasion and conversation is broken down into a couple simple steps. One step is multiple options, meaning if you're selling a product, if you can give multiple options, that allows the client to not feel persuaded. Make sense? Because if you're giving them multiple options, you cannot really persuade them to choose all of them. It doesn't make sense. Let's say you're buying a phone. Okay, let's say you go into a store to buy a phone. And this is going to be the example of giving multiple options and understanding that a client's not going to see multiple options and feel persuaded, right? Let's say you're going in to buy a phone. Let's say you're a single guy, single woman, and you're buying a phone. You're going to walk in and say, I need a new phone. And typically, what do? You do this, you wave it, I need a new phone. Right? You're like all done with that phone. That phone's got to be thrown away. That phone's all set, right? I need a new phone. Okay. Well, the sales rep is not going to say, well, how many phones do you need? Some will, but most will not. But if it's a single person walking saying, I need a new phone, they do that, I need a new phone wiggle, right? What's going to happen is they're going to show you a new phone. Right? They're going to show you maybe one or two options and say, well, this is the newest model, but this one here is this model. Or this one has 120 gigs, this one has 60 gigs, whatever, right? They're going to show you more than one option. But will they say, hey, listen, I can actually get you 4 phones today? For what? It doesn't make sense. Why would she or he buy 4 phones? I just need one. Why would I buy 4? Do you see what I'm saying here? The point is that if you give them multiple options, they're not going to feel obligated to choose all of them because it doesn't pertain to them. So the persuasion is off the table. This is what actually happens. If you give multiple options, you can show them like, look, each one of these options is a solution for you. Each one of these is brand new. It's just whether you want A, B, C, or D. That's it. Then, based on your communication with the client and the knowledge, which is technically point 2, right? Remember I said there's 2 sides of this, 2 points to this? Right now, if we focus on the first point, giving multiple options is going to allow that client to understand each option, which obviously is based on that sales rep giving that information. But if we have all those options in front of the client, that client now is going to take that information, okay, and then choose the option that they want. It's no longer a persuasion. The reason why it's not a persuasion anymore is because they have everything in front of them. They feel that they are choosing what's best for them. Does that make sense? So, point number 1, right? Step 1 is understanding that you need more than one solution. That will differentiate the persuasion in the conversation, okay? You're not persuading when you have multiple options. Right? You are persuading if you say, this is the phone for you. Well, do you have other options? Yeah, but this is the one you want. And then you start talking until you're trying to persuade them to buy this phone. And typically when you do that, when a sales rep chooses to take the path of persuasion, typically they're trying to persuade because that's usually the most expensive option, or that's going to get them to the next level in the company, or they feel like this is the only thing they do is just sell high ticketed items. They refuse to look at the smaller ticketed items. There's always like a hidden agenda. And trust me, people can pick up on that. Doesn't matter if they're high-level execs, if they're not even executives at all, if they're just regular people, right? They're going to pick up on that because they're human. Remember we talked on a previous show, just be human. But when you're just human, people will pick up on all these pieces, okay? So remember, step 1 is giving multiple options, okay? Because that eliminates the blurred line between a conversation and persuasion. Point 2, step 2, we've already alluded to it, is knowledge, okay? You have to have knowledge of the products that you're trying to sell or provide for your client, okay? Now, if you do not have knowledge, for example, you're selling an iPhone. If you do not have knowledge, you'll just say, well, this is the newest model here. It's an iPhone. It's got a black case on it. It's got 3 little circles here. I think those are 3 cameras. I think that's a light, not really. But this is the phone for you right here. Do you sound at all educated into that product? Hell no. And trust me, they know that. Now, I know I exaggerated a little bit. I kind of went over the top to make it look like I really didn't know very much about it. However, there are sales reps out there that do this because there are companies that will hire sales reps and they don't care what their sales ability is. It's all about numbers, right? It's all about volume. If they get 100 people walking through the door and you get that low-level sales rep that I just explained and showed you an example of, they figure, well, if we get 10% of those deals, they're still deals, right? We're not losing money on them. As long as he sells two phones today out of 100 people, we've made our money. Everything out of that is gravy, as we would say. There are some companies that will do that. I'm not alluding to cell phone companies. It's just kind of what I have in front of me right now. However, there are companies that will do that. It's all about numbers, okay? Unfortunately, in the real estate game, it's very much like that. Okay, a lot of brokerages will just take a new real estate agent because at the end of the day, there is a very, very high failure rate in the real estate game. But brokerages and brokers in general know and understand the concept that if they bring in 20 new agents a year, if they only get 5 deals out of all 20 for the full year, they're not paying the agents. Remember that. They're not paying the agents anything because they're all commission-based. 100%. They pay for their own marketing, and then there's write-offs and all this other stuff. Now, knowing that they're not paying these agents, if they bring in 20 agents a year, or even 50 agents a year, let's call it 50, and they say 10% of them bring in some business. So that's 5 deals a year. Well, in Massachusetts, the average home sale is about $500K. So if you are doing 5 of those deals a year, that's 2.5 mil, okay? And at, let's say, 3%, we're talking 60K. That's coming into that company, right? Into that brokerage. It's numbers, it's volume. They understand the algorithm, okay? So there are companies that will do this. However, the companies that take the time to train and help the sales reps understand the product, the more understanding they have, the more successful they're going to be. If you look at real estate agents, since we just talked about them, if you look at them, the most successful, aside from the recurring referrals that they get, remember, they only get these recurring referrals because they know what they're doing and it's been proven, right? Time and time again, right? Look at the most successful agents around. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. Look at the most successful ones. What do they do differently than the not so successful ones? They have more knowledge, right? All these new agents, they'll go out there and say, I'm the one you want. If you're looking to buy or sell, give me a call. Well, do you even know anything about the area that you're trying to sell? Do you even have an area to sell in? Do you know a specific area? Can you tell me anything about it? How's the school systems over here? They don't know. But if you ask an experienced agent, they'll tell you everything. They're literally like Google on wheels, okay? It's just, that's what they do. Because when you're good at something and you understand something, you can portray that to a client. And that portrayal, so to speak, is confident. And that confidence just radiates off you onto the client so the client can understand where you're going with this and understand that you're the right person for the job. You're the right representative for the job. Okay? Now, another level deeper when it comes down to understanding the knowledge behind your product, it's not just understanding the knowledge of what you can look up. Okay, does that make sense? I'm gonna reword that for a quick second because as I said it, I didn't really think it made much sense. What I mean is if I look this phone up, okay, iPhone 14, I can literally go on Google, iPhone 14, get all this information. If you're just reiterating information that I can look up on Google, there's a very good chance that your client can do the same thing. You have to have information that you cannot just Google. Now, how do you understand that? Well, it's very, very simple, really. If you give real life testimonial information, right? Real life examples. You can use your own phone. Because if I go to Google right now and say 10 great things about an iPhone 14, it'll tell me the 10 great things based on that person who's writing that blog. It's their favorite. Okay, or if Google thinks, hey, this is my favorite, or if Apple thinks this is my favorite, whatever it might be, right? There's 10 facts. Just like if you look at the 10 top sales reps in the country, what do they do successfully? They're all going to be different because whoever is writing that article or that blog is going to use their own opinion. Okay? Now, people will buy from people that understand and have knowledge of the product, okay, of the solution to their problem. So if I take this phone and I give them all the information that you can literally just find on Google, I'm not really a professional, am I? I'm not really valuable is really where I'm going with this, because if I can do this myself, they can do it. So how can I say something about this phone that won't show up on Google or Chrome or Internet Explorer, whatever you use, right? What can I say? Well, what I can say is, let's take a picture. Let's FaceTime. Think about that. Because what do they say? Best picture quality on the market. Okay. Doesn't buffer. Okay. Well, what they can't show you is pictures. Now, they might say, well, this is what it looks like, but it's digitized. It's online, right? They make it look beautiful, right? How about this? You want to see how good the camera is? Let's take a quick picture, and then boom, there's the picture. Now, the client can truly understand, like, wow, that is a really good picture. So, yeah, here's another really cool feature. It has perfect slow-mo. Check out this video. Do you see how they understand, right? They understand the examples, things that they cannot just simply Google and get responses on. So that's what it comes down to. It's understanding knowledge of the product. If you are not valuable, or if your value rate is not above what the client in front of you can do on their own, you're not going to be successful, at least not with that individual or those individuals. Your value level must be significantly higher, okay? If we keep things so simple so everybody watching the show can truly understand this. Let's say you are a painter, right? And you do these great paintings, whether it be abstract or not. You're doing these great paintings, right? If someone says, wow, that's a beautiful painting, I like that. And then you just sit there and say, yeah, it's a beautiful piece. They know it's a beautiful piece. They literally just told you that they love the painting. What else can you tell them about the painting? Well, it was, handmade and done in, New York by Joe Schmo. Great guy. Oh, have you met him? No, but he seems like a great guy. Do you see what I'm saying? If you do not have the information or the knowledge, do you really think that person is going to buy that painting from you at that gallery? No. But if a rep comes out, okay, at the gallery and says, this is a great painting, you've actually chose a really nice one. Let me tell you a little bit about this painting. The person who did this painting was going through this in their life. This painting actually took about 9 months to complete, and he or she kept going back and forth to it throughout the weeks when life got really, really difficult. And that's why I love this painting, because it shows the ups and downs of Joe Schmo's life. So this is a really, really great painting. It's a good look. We're both looking at the same painting, right? Two different sales reps. One has knowledge, one doesn't. Now, the one who has knowledge didn't really try to sell that painting, did they? No, they didn't. They didn't try to persuade them, right? Because for me, and this is a personal opinion, selling is persuading. We're not here to sell anybody anything. We're not here to persuade anybody into doing anything they don't want to do or don't need to do. We're here to solve a problem. We're here to offer solutions, right? That's what we're there. We're here to help. We're not here to sell you anything. We're not here to close your deal. No, we're here to solve a problem. We're here to help you, okay? So the second sales rep was able to give information, knowledge. It created a level of credibility, a value level that was significantly higher than sales rep number one, who just said, yeah, it's a nice painting. Yeah, it was made by Joe Schmo. I've never met him, but yeah, it's a nice painting. I like the colors. You're doing everything that the person staring at the painting is doing. You're just acknowledging what you see. That's it, okay? You're not doing anything else. You know what I'm saying? So again, it comes down to the knowledge to understand the difference between persuasion and a conversation. It really is knowledge, okay? Now, to wrap it all up, okay, is there a clear and concise difference between knowledge and let's say knowledge and persuasion. Is there a real clear and concise difference? Yes, there is. If you're explaining your knowledge, your professionalism, your expertise on a product or products, persuasion is out of the mix. Because the information that you're giving your client is now getting to the point where they are just choosing whatever they want that you're offering because they trust you. You're credible. Your value is up here. You're not just walking in saying, yeah, that's a nice painting. Yeah, I never met the guy. I don't really know much about it. But yeah, they have nice colors, right? Like, we don't really know, do we? But at the same time, the difference of knowledge and persuasion is just give them the knowledge. And we're going to go into another show about how do you just give out knowledge, because essentially you could have everything written right on your phone and say, well, this was done in 1966. It took, I think it says, 9 months to do. Guy was really into lighter colors, and whenever he was having issues at home or in his personal life, he would paint. And as I said, it took about 9 months to complete. There's a difference of reading the information in speaking the information. Because when you read the information, that client subconsciously feels like they're just another person. They're nothing special. Because you're reading something that you probably read to 25 other people before that client got there. And you're going to read it to 25 other people when that client walks away. Or maybe they'll buy that painting and go somewhere else and look at something else. And you're like, oh, okay, well, this is Exhibit H. So, yes, this one was 1946. But, okay, there's a clear and concise difference with that, and that's going to be into more of another show. Okay, a conversation is just a discussion. It's just talk to me about what you like, what you don't like, how can we help? Okay, that's what got me where I am in my career, is just understanding human beings and just wanting to help them. Okay, that's what it comes down to. Conversation and persuasion. A conversation is wanting to help. That's the end goal. I want to help you. Okay, find a solution to your problem or problems. Okay, that's my job. I want to understand you. I want to understand your problems. I want to understand where these problems are and what my solutions can do. Remember what I said, solutions with an S, not solution. What my solutions can do for you. Please understand that all the solutions that I provide for you today, tomorrow, next month, wherever you are in the meeting, please understand that all the solutions are legitimate solutions for you that will solve your problem. It's just going to come down to, do you want the problem solved right away? Do you want the problem solved in the next couple of months? Do you want to spend this much money and have the problem solved today? Again, that's up to the client to choose because you gave them multiple options, right? Step 1, multiple options. Step 2 is knowledge. If you can explain each and every one of these options and how it pertains to their problem in their company or their household or whatever their specific problem is, if you can explain that to them without physically reading it off of something, right? And you can just talk to them like a human, right? Just a regular conversation. Again, they will choose the options that they want. That, again, is not a persuasion. That is just a conversation. So remember, multiple options is step 1. To understanding the difference between a persuasion and a conversation. Step 2.2 is knowledge. Once you understand the product or products that you're physically providing for a client, once you can understand that and you have a level of knowledge that's valued a lot higher than the client or what the client can research, that's when you're going to see your success just go through the roof. Again, it's just a conversation. A lot of sales does come down to conversation. Okay, that's what it comes down to. Keep it simple, as we said before. Keep it human. Okay, this is Mark with the Daily Hustle Show. Please like and subscribe on YouTube. We're on Instagram as well. Please like and follow those. TikTok, we do daily sales tips on there as well. My partner will be giving multiple sales tips as the time goes on. He's crushing real estate right now, so I know he's doesn't really have a lot of time. So I told him I'll do this for now. But again, guys, like, subscribe. We'll see you on the next show.